Luna's role in becoming Nightmare Moon has always been a creative tale on how good goes bad and then reforms for it. Luna is shown to be the more relatable of the two sisters. She did something bad, was punished, and is now trying to reform for it, while Celestia is just kind of there in the background. One episode in particular is Luna Eclipsed, where Luna struggles with trying to be accepted by the ponies around her. This is where her relatability comes from primarily. This struggle of being accepted. Celestia, for example, doesn't have an episode that focuses around any aspect of herself, so there's less that we know about her. So what does this have to do with Celestia? Nightmare Moon stood for one thing only, to bring eternal night. She became this common enemy to all the ponies of Equestria. Having a common enemy can be a good thing, a place to dump stress and anger towards, so the daily stresses don't cause you to take it out on your close relationships. Having an entire society hate the same enemies, say discord, for example, makes a society strong and as one unity. They band together to try and defeat this common enemy. However, they only last as long as the enemy is in fact their enemy. If the society defeated their enemy and took position of the government or ruler status, then the banded group would disband and no longer be united. However, in the case of Discord, where Celestia and Luna, being princesses and alicorns, defeated Discord, the united people chose to have them be their rulers, so the united ponies could change from hating Discord to loving Celestia and Luna and remaining united. Nightmare Moon was one of these common enemies, and when Celestia defeated her, you can only imagine how the entire society of ponies took it. The ponies of Equestria glorified Celestia. They created an annual celebration to honor Celestia's defeat of Nightmare Moon. Celestia had just condemned her sister to 1,000 years on the moon, and she was being praised for her good work. To Celestia, it was not a job well done, but a sad task that needed to be done. Celestia was given status of being Equestria's ruler for some time, either after defeating Discord or after Nightmare Moon. But Celestia was ruling over the ponies who praised and thanked her for giving them the sun, the day, but never the night. It's like she destroyed Luna's memory from the ponies altogether. The ponies thanked her for banishing the evil from their homes and keeping them safe, and Celestia took it, never telling them that Nightmare Moon was in fact Luna. Celestia suffered with the guilt and the pain of having to do what she did and see the pony's betrayal of her sister, and she had to see her own. Celestia, when we see her, doesn't seem as though she really feels like she deserves being the ruler of Equestria. Take A Bird in the Hoof. Celestia tries to lighten the tension by tricking the cakes with her tea, and she is more than eager to leave once the mayor requires her presence. Celestia almost feels uncomfortable around these ponies, who are afraid they will disappoint her since she is their ruler. Celestia is very uncomfortable when Rarity is thanking her in excess during Sweet and Elite. Celestia does accept many of the luxuries that come with being the ruler. I think this is more for show, that the ponies expect her to be a certain way, act a certain way, and if she doesn't, they may become worried. To give you an idea of what kind of guilt I'm trying to explain, let's take a look at the Season 3 premiere. In these episodes, Twilight gets a test to save the Crystal Empire. At the end, when she has the heart, she told Spike to save it instead because she wouldn't be able to. Then Celestia said this: "Far better that I have a student who understands the meaning of self-sacrifice than one who only looks out for her own best interests." Celestia's best interest would have been to save her sister. However, she had to make that sacrifice so the ponies of Equestria would be safe. Celestia is teaching Twilight this for some reason we don't know yet. Imagine that Spike was the one who jumped for the heart. He got stuck, and when Twilight saved the Crystal Empire, Spike died. Do you honestly think Twilight would care as much about passing the test or saving the Crystal Empire as she would care about Spike? That after saving the Crystal Empire, they glorified her, created a giant gemstone statue of her, called her the Great and Honorable Twilight. How do you think she would take it? To Celestia, banishing her sister was the same as killing her, because Celestia didn't know how long Luna would be banished for, because as she said in the first episode, she too saw the signs predicting Nightmare Moon's return, but there was never a guarantee. I love what Spike says at the end of the Equestrian Games. Sometimes to feel good about yourself, you gotta let go of the past. That way, when the time comes to let your greatness fly, you'll be able to light up the whole sky. This is a very powerful statement for Celestia, because she literally lights up the whole sky both day and night, but I don't think she feels good about herself. Not until her sister is back anyway. Once her sister is back, the very first summer sun celebration that they do together is when Celestia no longer dreads this celebration. In episode 1 of season 4, Celestia also says that her subjects have always seen it as a celebration, but for her it was a painful reminder of having to banish her sister. This episode is when Celestia can feel good about herself, because she has her sister back, and with Twilight's help, she truly can light up the whole sky.